Hey, yo, what's up? We got another video today. Her birthday party destroyed this town. Now, why did her birthday party destroy a town? We're about to find out. I got no clue. I got no idea. Just like you. Or unless you've seen the video, maybe you do know. But we're going to get it started like Blue No. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and, let's get it.
Party got so out of control that it nearly ended up destroying an entire town. This is wild. And it all starts in 2008 in Melbourne, Australia, when this 16-year-old throws a party at his house while his parents are away. His name is Corey, and Corey's little house party ends up turning into a big house party as the invites get way out of control, and soon enough, over 500 people show up, and it turns into an impromptu block party. Now, eventually, police show up, and this whole ordeal makes the news for some reason, and when they interview Corey, he doesn't really give a damn.
Corey, thanks for joining us. The only question that I can think to ask is, what were you thinking?
I wasn't really.
And it's this interview where Corey gives us this 2008 viral moment.
Why don't you make a grown-up decision now and accept responsibility, take off those glasses and apologize to everybody that you frightened? Take off your glasses and apologize to us.
I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses.
Why not?
Because they're famous.
Because your glasses are famous.
Yeah.
And so clips of Corey's interview blow up because people think it's hilarious and they're sharing it all over. Well, allegedly, this video inspires the 2012 movie Project X. It's that movie where a bunch of teens throw a massive house party that ends up getting out of control. And at the end of the movie, there's even a news interview similar to Corey's real one.
I was thinking more along the lines of an apology. Would you like to apologize?
I got a better idea. How about I invite you to my next party?
What?
And that brings us to the Netherlands, 2012, in a little town called Haren. And living in Haren is this girl, Merta. And Merta's 15 during this time, and she's a normal Dutch kid, and she's got a birthday coming up. She's gonna be 16. And so she wants to throw herself a little birthday party at her house. Just her and some of her friends, no big deal. So she gets on Facebook and she creates a public event page for her 16th birthday party celebration. And a few hours go by, and around 80 people have accepted her invitation. That's a lot of people to cram into her little house, but it's doubtful that all of them will actually show up. Here's the thing though, some of these friends forward this invitation to their friends, and those people forward it to their friends, and they do it again and again and again, and from there, it quickly snowballs. And in 2 days, 16,000 people have been invited to this 15-year-old girl's birthday party. And so Merta's like, what the fuck? And she goes and she tells her parents, hey, thousands of people are supposedly coming to my party. What do I do? And her parents are like, shut it down, delete the page. And so Merta deletes the entire Facebook event, and nothing to worry about, everything is fixed, and that is the end of the party. Oh, but it's not. Because other people, just like random trolls on the internet, they think it would be funny to recreate the Facebook event page and continue sharing it around and inviting people. Because the movie Project X came out that same year, and these trolls think it'll be amusing to create a massive Project X type party at this random Dutch girl's house. In fact, they don't just recreate her deleted invite page, several pages are made, but the big one is actually called Project X Haren. And they share this event page everywhere, even off of Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube, on random blogs, and people not in on the joke.
To get these guys that were spreading the information, that's crazy. That's slander. You don't even know if they look like that.
They start taking it seriously. They think this is some kind of like festival for Merta's birthday. And people start making event flyers and posting them on social media. They're making video trailers for this party. And so it gets more and more traction. Within a week, 24,000 people have been invited to Merta's party, and 2,400 people have accepted. Now keep in mind, Merita's not throwing a party at all now. Like, it's been canceled. But these people don't know that, so they keep
She's just
sharing.
chilling at the
Some
crib
people are
now.
even putting up actual physical flyers
That's
advertising the
hilarious.
event. And so by
They
this
did all
time,
this
Merita's
for a
parents,
fake
they're
party,
kind
bruh.
of freaking out. I mean, are
People try harder for
24,000
memes
people
than they
really
do for
going to
real
show up to
stuff
their
sometimes.
house? That's more
This
than the
just goes to show.
population of the entire town. And so they try and do what they can. They warn the neighbors, they distribute a letter throughout the neighborhood to all their neighbors, like, I think thousands of people are about to show up to our town for a party that doesn't actually exist.
Just
And then,
random folks
4 days
pulling up.
later, the invitation count is now up to
6K.
55,000 people, and 6,000 people have accepted. This means the invite count has gotten so
Leonardo,
big
that
that the
AI.
local news media is now talking about it, and this inadvertently advertises the party even more because now it's on TV. And so a few days after that, around 30,000 people have accepted the invitation and marked that they are coming to this party in Harlem.
30,000?
And by this point, people online have made actual festival maps of this place. This one here, I mean, you can see there appears
They're
to
so
be a main
stupid.
stage
They
right
said the
in front
main
of
stage.
Merita's
They're
house.
so stupid
And so
for
now
this.
people in the
This is what
town
people
are
had to do
worried.
in the
Like
20
city
in the
officials got to
2012.
get involved because they know this is about to be big, and they don't want all these
I was
strangers
just
taking over
entering
the
high school
town.
at this
And the
point.
mayor
In my,
has to
like,
come out and make a public
second year, I
statement
think, actually.
calling for
First or
people
second year.
not to come to Harran.
It
They
was
apparently
2011
shut
when I
down a
entered,
bunch of
so it was
streets and they
between there.
temporarily banned the sale of alcohol in the area. But none of that seems to
gosh.
matter because random people are still determined to make this party happen. They go way out of their way to advertise it. And so finally, the big day
People do the
arrives.
craziest for the
Merita's
stupidest
birthday.
stuff, man.
And poor
People
Merita
going
and her
crazy when it
family,
doesn't
they
matter.
leave their house. Like, they go somewhere private to stay for a while because they don't want to be
They
involved
say,
in all
yeah,
this.
this doesn't matter
And as
for
the
real.
day
Let's go
goes on,
crazy on it.
sure enough, thousands of people show up to Harran, and they start
Oh my
pouring
God.
in. Not just people from the
They just
Netherlands,
start showing
but people
up,
from
bro.
all over
Imagine,
Europe.
right?
And they start partying right there in the open street. And they're like drinking and having a good time. They're singing happy birthday to Merita, a
You
girl
couldn't
they've
get this
never
many
even
people to
met.
come together for an actual good cause sometimes.
And so, yeah, it's a big party, and it's loud and annoying for the residents, but, you know, no big deal.
I'm not gonna say all
At
the
least
time,
it
'cause,
didn't
yeah,
get
you
out
know,
of
sometimes
control.
you can, but like, bet you if she had asked somebody, if she had asked people to like, hey, uh, she had, say she had like, I don't know, like I don't know, there was like a homeless family member or something that she had or something there, and she was trying to like get them housing or something. They lost their job, they're like a veteran or something, and then she reached out to all these community people. I wonder how many of these people would have actually shown up. I have a lot of faith in people, so I guarantee you there would have been a lot of people, but I wonder if it would have happened as quickly and as like diligently as this. I wonder. But I have a lot of faith in people, so I think they would have still pulled together and got it done. But it's just when stuff doesn't matter, I feel like people just be going crazy.
Until by the time the sun goes down, the thousands of people there are all pretty drunk. Some of them start getting a little rowdy and tearing shit up. I mean, they're breaking things down, they're destroying whatever they can find, they're pulling down traffic signs, they're lighting
Dang, all right,
benches on
this is
fire,
just
they're lighting
degeneracy now.
cars on fire, they're
This is
breaking into
degenerate.
local businesses, and then like a mob of them will
Looting?
just rush in and
So we're
grab
just looting.
whatever they can.
Okay.
I mean, here's some footage of them breaking into another local shop, like
Yo,
tearing
he
it up
just-
too. And so, of course, police, they
Aight,
have to
nah,
call in
bruh.
riot control because they're trying to
Nah,
keep this thing
bruh.
from getting out of hand. And so the riot
Some people
control
are from
shows
out
up, and
of
people
state.
start
They're
getting
like, "This isn't gonna
aggressive
affect
and
me."
like throwing things at them. And so police
out
have
of
to
the
call in
country,
more
actually.
officers from outside provinces to help control the crowd. But these partygoers, they
Out of the
don't give a
province.
shit. They start throwing things at them too. In fact, they get into a
Ooh.
whole standoff
Yeah,
with
y'all are
them,
getting
and
arrested
ultimately
for
it
that.
looks like police lose as they are quickly overwhelmed by the amount of people there, and they have to back away.
Yeah,
and
that's
at
the European
end
police
of all
right
this
there.
madness,
Honestly,
this town is trash.
What if they were
Doesn't
what if they were actual threats though? What if they weren't just random people? Well, they are actual threats. They're destroying like local businesses and stuff. But what if they were like actually like a terrorist group, and they kind of were acting like a terrorist group. What if they were an intentional terrorist group that was that deep, and then they started like terrorizing the city, and the police didn't have the manpower to stop them? That's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. They probably would have sent more people though. If it were like real people, they probably would have sent more serious forces. But they figured, it's just a party. This should be enough to calm them down. They probably sandbagged, and then they got blown away when they found out that it wasn't gonna work.
Of partygoers are injured, and bam, 34 people get arrested.
Only
And like the
34?
mayor's all pissed off, and he has to come
I
out
wanna
and he
see
calls
more
the
arrests,
partygoers
honestly.
scum.
Let's be clear. Last night, scum wreaked havoc in our community.
Meanwhile, poor
They
Merta,
destroyed
she's
that.
probably just sitting there, wherever she and her family are hiding, looking all sad like, happy birthday to me.
It's crazy. Why no one wants to host the Olympics? Hold on. The Olympics is actually, I don't know. I feel like we could watch this, but I feel like people do want to host the Olympics, but they don't want to do the organization and the paperwork and the city building and things for it. But they would probably be nice to have. Let's go back. We gotta watch another one. You know how we're doing it nowadays. We're running 2 of these at a time. Video length OP. Shout out Michaela Jill Murphy. Where is she at? Oh, it just reset on me. Okay. Let's see. $11 billion mistake on Disney. No. We're getting distracted. Psycho X finally got arrested. Psycho X. All right, let's see the Psycho X. Is it not a killing one, right? Hopefully it's not a
So
killing
one
one.
morning, this woman is in the driveway and she's beating up her boyfriend. Now the woman, her name's Alicia. She's 34, she's
Oh,
from
it's just
Wisconsin,
DV.
and she used to be a military police officer.
I don't want to say just
Now
DV,
Alicia has a
'cause that
boyfriend
minimizes it.
who we'll just call
It's still bad,
boyfriend.
but
and
at
that
least nobody's
morning,
getting killed. Let's run this back though. Yeah, I don't support DV. If you couldn't tell. Dang, man. I don't know. I like it like crazy, boy. Oh, snap. Okay, so what are we
So
doing
one
here?
morning, this woman is
We got it, and we're gonna like the video, and we're gonna comment primary before we do this. Before we do it, so we don't forget. W video. W video, bro. Okay. Now we're gonna go. Let's do it. Psycho X. Stato.
in the driveway and she's beating up her boyfriend. Now the
She got
woman,
the
her
bare
name's
knuckles.
Alicia. She's 34, she's from
With rocks
Wisconsin,
in
and
them,
she
bro?
used to be a military police officer. Now
Oh, wow.
Alicia has a boyfriend, who we'll just call boyfriend. And that
Boyfriend?
morning, I guess they get into a fight,
I
and
don't know, I
Alicia
guess
starts to get
he
violent.
does kinda
and
look
he's in the
beatable, I'm not gonna
driveway,
lie.
and she picks up some rocks, and she sticks them between
is
her
a crazy
fingers like they're
comment.
brass knuckles, and she starts trying
She
to
got
push
brass
him.
knuckles?
And I
Nah,
guess
take her
she
away.
also starts threatening to unalive his whole family. And this is allegedly not the first time she's threatened to do this.
Alright,
But here's the
never mind.
thing
I don't like
about
this
Alicia.
anymore, man.
She's a
I don't
mom
like
of
this, bro.
3
Get her out of here. Take her to jail, please. Alright. We're gonna watch a different video. Sorry for switching it up so briefly, but I'm really not in the mood for this. We're gonna watch a lighter one. See if we can find a lighter one. Yeah, get her out of here. He needs to take a shower. Sure, let's watch this. Let's watch this.
So this guy doesn't bathe or he doesn't brush his teeth, but that's not even the worst thing about it.
At all.
Now the guy's name is Pazuzu, and Pazuzu is
Pazuzu.
around 29 years old when this story
He's on
starts.
some
and
trip.
he's living in North Carolina, and Pazuzu,
He's on some,
he's
like,
a
native
very
living,
strange
living
guy.
off the land
Like
type
he is
junk.
obsessed with
Oh, never mind. He's just on Satan time.
Satanism and other kinds of
Alright,
dark
never mind.
mythology. And on top of being strange, he also has some serious mental health issues and addiction
that.
issues. And so
I
one
hope he
day in
gets some help,
2007, he decides that he is done taking his medication for his mental illness.
Oh,
And
no.
he's just gonna stop cold turkey. And because he has a bad habit of drinking a ton of alcohol and doing meth all the time, this makes his mental health issues 100
Way
times worse.
yeah.
And from here, Pazuzu's life just kind of
Hey,
keeps
W shirt.
spiraling downward. Like, he's
Jurassic
partying
Park
all
is
the
cool.
time, he's drinking alcohol and doing drugs. Sometimes he'll do really hard drugs like smack. Not only that, but he also stops practicing good hygiene. Like, according to his friends, he showers maybe once a year. He brushes his teeth maybe once a year. Because he has this weird idea that cleaning himself will wash away his natural immunities or something like that. Now, despite being around 29, 30
Well, I mean,
years
you're gonna
old,
be immune to, like,
Pazuzu
social
still
interaction
lives at
in a
his
second.
mom's house with her. And he absolutely trashes his mom's house. Like, he's got friends over all day, and they
Nah,
like
he's just a
party all
bum.
the time,
He's
every
trying to
day.
have the high
Like,
ground,
there
but
are
he's just a
no
bum.
rules.
He's
And
just-
either he or the people hanging out will throw trash everywhere.
He's just
They'll
not
just like
healthy.
smash shit that's lying around. They'll straight up pee on the carpet. Sometimes they'll
Ugh.
just straight up poop on the carpet.
That's
So
like
this
having
place
an
is a
an
total
animal.
dump, and it smells terrible because there's poop on the carpet. Nobody cleans up anything. Really, these people are disgusting. And Pazuzu's mom doesn't seem to care. She just like lets them do it. And on top of all that, they have a bunch of pets who live
Bless
there
her,
too.
his mom's
And these
heart,
pets
bro.
all pee and shit on the floor. And this goes on for a few years. These
Not good,
stank
bro.
ass hippies who hang out in Pazuzu's poop house, they just
I
sit
could
around
never,
all day
bro.
and do hard drugs. And over time, they kind of become like loyal followers of his. And they accept
Followers
him
of
as this sort
Pazuzu.
of dark spiritual leader, like a guy
Alright,
they
get
look
him
up
outta
to.
here.
It's a bit cult-like.
I'm all for personal
Then,
freedoms, but like,
around
this is actually
2009,
just
this guy
degeneracy.
shows up. His
This is
name's
peak
Josh.
degeneracy.
And Josh, he starts partying in this
Like, they
house
need
with the
some
others.
kind of guidance.
And Josh, he's a nice enough guy, but to the
Some
others,
kinda help,
he's
you
an
know what I'm saying? 'Cause,
outsider.
like, this ain't
And
it,
he
bruh.
doesn't exactly look up to Pazuzu like the other guys do. And Pazuzu, he doesn't like this at all. Like, he doesn't like that this Josh guy is someone that he can't control. So he decides that he's gonna make Josh miserable. And one day, when Josh is at the house
Yikes.
partying with the others, allegedly, Pazuzu forces him down into the basement. And there, he
Yikes.
ties him up. Apparently, he had heard that Josh is some kind of snitch or something like that. And so
Yikes.
Pazuzu just leaves him there. And he basically starves him for days, allegedly. This is what a witness claimed. But a few days later, Pazuzu brings Josh back upstairs.
can't
And
just
instead of
kidnap
letting
people,
him
bro.
go,
Arrest this
he
man.
gets a rifle and he points it at him.
Nah,
and
arrest
blam,
this guy.
blam, he shoots Josh like 10 times. And he unalives him. And what's crazy is Pazuzu doesn't do this when like no one is home. There are actually people around witnessing this. Like his whole party crew is all there and they're probably high out of their minds. And Pazuzu's mom is there too. I mean, she allegedly comes out of her room and she sees Pazuzu holding the rifle, but she like does nothing. And so anyway, then later,
Yo, his mom is wild. What is she on, bruh? I guess maybe she's just like, well, you know, there's nothing I can do. I don't know if she's defeated or she's just like, what's going on, man? That's crazy, bruh. She ain't called police or nothing, bro. Dude just got murdered in there, bro. That's a crazy situation to be in, bro. She like, I'm over it. I don't got the energy for this. I'm gonna just eat my chips and go in her other room. That's so crazy, bro. All this shit coming down around her. She just like, I'll catch y'all later. That's so crazy.
Pazuzu and his friends, they move the body
That's so
back down
crazy.
to the basement. And once it's in the basement, they just let it rot down there.
She said
and
put the
Pazuzu
chips
uses
in the
cat
bag.
litter and chlorine to hide the smell. I'm telling you, these are some weird-ass people. Anyway, now at some point, I guess the dead body smell gets to be too much or something, I'm not sure. But eventually,
Yeah, there's
Pazuzu
dude
moves the body
decomposing.
and he buries it in the backyard in a shallow grave. Now, like I said, this crime had a bunch of witnesses. Like, people saw Pazuzu murder Josh in the house, and some of them even helped him move the body. So pretty quickly, word gets out that this all happened. And one woman calls the police, and she tells them that she knows of a dead body in the basement of Pazuzu's mom's house. So one day, the police show up to the stank-ass hippie poop house, and they question Pazuzu, and of course, he denies murdering anyone. But he lets the police walk around and check the place out. And they go into the basement and they look, but by this point, the body had been moved and buried in the backyard. So these cops don't see any evidence of any wrongdoing, just a guy with a filthy house, which, you know, having a filthy house isn't against the law. So the police leave, and nothing comes of it. About 2 months later, this guy shows up to the house, Tommy. And Tommy is there to either just hang out in the filth or do some drugs with the others.
I can never
I'm not
put
sure.
that disrespect
Now,
on you, man.
believe it or not, Pazuzu's stank ass actually has a girlfriend. He apparently has multiple girlfriends.
Of
because
course.
I guess these women have no standards. But the woman I'm referring to
Moving like
is
that.
this woman, Amber. And so one night, Tommy is at the house sitting on the couch, and for some reason, Amber's crazy ass gets the rifle, and suddenly, blam, she shoots Tommy, and she freaking unalives him.
Just
And
blaming
Pazuzu's mom
people at the
hears the
party is
gunshot, and
insane,
she
bro.
comes out of her room to see what happened, and she sees Amber holding the rifle, and she sees Tommy dead. But again, she doesn't do anything about it. She just goes on with her life. Like, what the fuck, lady? So, since Amber is the one who actually...
Is that like the definition of... Is that like a... What? That's like alternative pack smoking. She's just chip eating on them, bro. Just like dudes get smoked on the couch. She just like, can't be bothered with this. Like, what does she do all day? How do you live like that? How do you live around stuff like that? And then just like, bet. What is that? What? I don't understand, man. I mean, I kind of get a little bit of it, but I just want to see a little bit more of, like, who the mom is, what she's, like, on, like, I want to understand that a little bit.
Actually killed this guy. I guess she is now in charge of getting rid of the body. So she texts one of her friends to come over and help bury Tommy. And her friend comes over, and they go into the backyard, and they start digging a grave, and they bury him. While Pazuzu is there as well, and he's just like, I guess, watching and directing the whole thing.
Big, faster
And so they
ladies,
get
it's
away
crazy.
with it. Like, years go by, and it's now 2014, and Pazuzu is
Yeah, they're not
35
living
years
right,
old
bro.
at this point. And police
Get 'em
still
arrested,
haven't
bro.
caught on to them. So no one outside Pazuzu's inner circle suspects that there are bodies buried in the backyard. So it seems
Nasty
like
work.
he and Amber are gonna get away with these murders and just keep on living this stank-ass party lifestyle. Until
yes, please allow. Please
one
arrest
day
them.
something unexpected happens. Police just happen to show up at one of Pazuzu's
Ooh,
friends'
W
houses.
police.
And they're there looking into a completely different crime, something unrelated to Pazuzu.
Police.
But they question one of Pazuzu's friends. And immediately the friend is like, "Is this about Pazuzu?" And then he proceeds to tell the police all about the two bodies buried in Pazuzu's backyard.
Let's go,
So this,
W
of course,
snitch.
gets police's attention. I mean, this is not the first time they've been told Pazuzu killed someone. So they're really hoping this can now lead to
snitch,
something.
man.
Now, I don't know if it's coincidence, but around this time, another friend comes forward telling police a similar story about how he had heard
looks
that there
actually
are
cleaned up,
bodies
though.
buried in Pazuzu's backyard. And so this kicks off a big investigation, and police come to Pazuzu's poop
Yeah,
house,
this
and they search the
can't just be
place,
hanging
and
around
the place
anybody,
is
bro.
so filthy and toxic that they literally have to wear full
Masks.
hazmat suits before they go in. That is disgusting. But eventually, they excavate the backyard, and there they find the bodies of both Josh and Tommy.
Whoa.
And so, bam, they arrest
get him
Pazuzu.
outta here.
Here's his mugshot.
Get him
Also,
way outta
bam,
here,
they
bro.
arrest Amber. Here's her mugshot.
Get them
And bam, they
way
arrest
outta here.
Amber's friend who helped bury
Did they
Tommy's
arrest the
body.
mom?
Here's her mugshot. And I couldn't find any information about Pazuzu's mom, but I hope they arrested her too. But anyway, Amber, she ends up taking a plea deal, and she gets sentenced to 30 to 40 years in prison, while her friend who helped bury the body, she gets sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison, while Pazuzu, he doesn't get sentenced at all because
killed?
while he was waiting for his trial, he actually unalived himself in jail.
Of course he did, bro. Man, that dude was ready to go from the jump, bro. That guy. Man, get. That'll be a video, man. But That's nasty. Man, I really thought this was gonna be lighter hearted. I should have known by like the look on his face in the thumbnail that this was gonna be another murder video. I should have known. I should have known. Honestly, kind of did, but I was hoping that it wasn't gonna be. But hey, you know what? Hey, sometimes it be like that. So let's go ahead and do this outro real quick. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and all that. If y'all want to see some more, man, I appreciate that. And I'll catch y'all later. All right, bye.